ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us on this very interesting episode that we have curated on our platform called Future of Trust. Today, we have a topic of discussion as cybersecurity as a service, the future linchpin. And I have with me today two great industry stalwarts joining me for this interview session. First of all, to begin with, we have Mr. Vijayakrishna Iyengar, AVP IT, Bharat Fritz Werner Limited. Thank you, sir, for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Yeah, the pleasure is all ours, right, to host you here. We also have joining with us today Mr. Prasanna Kumar, Director Sophos. Thank you, Prasanna, for joining us today. And you hail an organization which is at the peak. I think, and Sophos is very well known in the cybersecurity
Thank
space.
you, thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. So, for this very interesting conversation, I'll do some context setting to begin with. Right, we have seen that COVID has made every organization realize that people have to embark on their journey of, disruption, as well as on their journey of digital transformation. It's the digital transformation which is going to bring in the disruption and help them sustain in the long run. Along with this, it's already a given and a known intelligence that cybersecurity is the whole horizontal pillar that will support any of such digital transformation across any industry, any sector, and any segment, right? Cybersecurity is no longer a vertical of technology, it's become the horizontal, right? If you have to adopt to any digital technology, you have to ensure that the cybersecurity posture is very well taken care of from day one, right? Mr. Vijay Krishna, I would like to begin with you. So how have you, traversed this journey of cybersecurity in the last 2 years, and how do you view this threat landscape as it presents today? Over to you, sir.
Thanks for this wonderful question. See, if you say cybersecurity, I would say we are paid to be paranoid. So being paranoid is very, very important to handle the cybersecurity threats, because COVID actually amplified the threat. The cybersecurity threat is there forever, for long. As the day computer starts, the threat would have started. But now if you see the job opportunities, loss of lives, loss of revenue, then geopolitics, like you have the Ukraine-Russia conflict. So all these things creates the, the threat actors become more active and attacking. So we always say we have to be paranoid, and we have to accept that the bad guys are 10 steps ahead of us. It's not that, if you feel that everything is fine, we have a digital fortress, nobody can penetrate that, we are fooling ourselves. There are only two types of companies, I would say. One, they know they have been attacked. The other, they don't know they have been attacked. So in this scenario, I want to re-emphasize, we are to be paranoid. Paranoid and say that, okay, whatever we are doing, we have to keep improving. Otherwise we have to protect our crown jewels. People will say user experience and cybersecurity trade-off. But I will say, if your security is compromised, what is the point of having an experience? You give an excellent user experience for half an hour, then the whole your servers are encrypted by ransomware, and the whole services is down for 30 days. Where your user experience will go? I am okay to put a zero trust, put a multi-factor authentication, make the user slightly crib. Fine, that is a trade-off you have to see, right? Like something is good, something is need. Cybersecurity is a need, it's not a good. And on top of it, if you are giving an excellent user experience, it's a good to have. But you cannot compromise need to have for the sake of good to have. So that's what I would say, cybersecurity is non-negotiable in the way.
Absolutely, sir, and thank you for putting it that way. Rather, I would want to add to that, how we view it as cybersecurity is almost like the insurance that you hope that you never have to use.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, wonderfully said, sir. Having said that, sir, the environment in which organizations work today, they have become very complex, right? And this whole rush towards accomplishing their digital transformation journey, where to begin, every organization has embarked. It's the only difference is where they are in that journey today, right? So, given these complexities, no organization standalone is able to, do this on their own. They need help. They need partners to accomplish what they are there. Because their primary business is not cybersecurity. The primary business is to run their own business.
Correct.
Whereas also taking care of cybersecurity, right? So we have been hearing something about cybersecurity as a service, sir, right? What do you think about this? And do you think it's a hype or it's a reality that is soon, going to settle everywhere?
In my humble opinion, it must be a reality long time ago, not now or future. See, today we are living in the world where ransomware as a service is available. I can pay money to someone to attack my competitor as a ransomware as a service. In the situation, obviously we should have cybersecurity as a service. It should have been done long back. At least we are doing now. I am happy about that. See, one thing is, as you rightly said, we are here to run our business. We will be focusing on boardrooms and take that vision of the leadership team to take it to the business levels and see. But if we are keep running above behind your security things, which is always evolving, always the threats are emerging from not only from India, it could be geopolitical or globally, it is all coming 24/7. We don't have bandwidth to do that. No company, I would say, to have bandwidth. So ideally, I would say even that, for that matter, we have to go for everything as a service. Why I am saying these niche skills, for those people I cannot give 8 hours job. If they are sticking with us, I would say they are not good. If they are good, they will not stick with us. Instead, I will give it a professional organization, maybe like Sophos, to manage our threat and see that we are having peaceful night and focus next day on a business. That will be better than fighting and seeing, worrying what will happen, who is But we are not doing. See, even if you worry doesn't solve the problem. So you may be worried, but what you are doing for that? You cannot be working on 24/7. So when somebody is providing that, it's better to use that, because it is their bread and butter. They know in and out of security. In that situation, it's better to use that rather than you are trying to learn and try to be over smart than the threat hunters or the bad guys, which will not be possible. So I would suggest, yes, I'd say it's better late, do it early rather than late or never.
Thank you, Mr. Vijayakrishna, for putting in your views. Prasanna, at this juncture, I come to you, right? You heard what Mr. Vijayakrishna had to say. I'm just adding on to that. The biggest problem that we see as a research is that where the real struggle is that the threat landscape is shaping up so fast, and the systems that organizations are sitting on, those are not improving or improvising at that same rate, right? So the gap seems to be increasing. And you coming from Sophos, which is a stalwart in this space, how are you solutioning and how are you helping your customers? This is something that you're doing day in day out, right?
Yes.
Over to you.
Yeah. So, thank you. When we see that cybersecurity, we are no longer actually bound to a boundary now. It's all like work from home and then remote workers. Boundaries are actually not there nowadays. And then the cloud, what we are talking, is actually adding a lot of business value to us. In this scenario, what has happened is the perimeter has actually increased, and due to that, we are seeing that control of an organization is actually missing out in terms of cybersecurity. What happens is, the way we are growing, the technologies what we have put in place are no longer actually sufficing the need for the R actually. A lot of times what we see is that the companies are actually growing, technologies are being implemented, but they are actually not properly configured in the place, they are not being utilized in the scenarios what it has to work in that way. And then we also see that there are big gaps in between. The edge devices which are there is not being taken care of. The cloud actually people are moving, and we see that there are a lot of gaps in the cloud. So what is happening is the teams which are working in the organizations are little confused that how do we take care of this giant need of security today, right? On top of it, what happens is when you don't have a skill set, that's the biggest challenge for any organization. Like Mr. Vijay was telling, they have a team which actually has to focus on the business improvement. They have to do a lot of things in terms of expanding their business to different locations, different geographies. But if they are stuck with cybersecurity issues all the time, it actually doesn't help them, right? That's number one. Number two is the cost. So if you talk about the technology versus the cost what you are having it for your entire network, it has to be balanced. It should not be like the cost is very high and it comes, the balance has to be there. So this is where we come in and we advise customers and that how to actually improve your security posture and how do we actually provide technology tools plus services, so which can help them really in terms of fighting the attacks day in day out and can help the organization to be very very strong, standing strong against the cyber threats. That's what I can tell you.
Absolutely, Prasanna. I think what you bring to the table is that having a partner like you besides, right? I think because this is what you are doing and you are specializing, right? You bring in economies of scale, right? And you then beautifully handle the cost aspect that a single organization can never achieve, right? Mr. Vijay, I come back to you at this juncture, and can you help us, go through any particular use case that you faced during your tenure in your organization in the last 2 years or maybe more, right? Which could be a key takeaway for our audience here, where you as a thought leader and as a practitioner implemented something and you kind of safeguarded your organization.
Yeah, see, I am from Bharat Fritz Werner Limited. We are a 60 plus years old organization, a pioneer in machine tools technology in India. And also we have two more companies like fully owned by us called M2 Next, who are in IoT. Then we are having another company called BAMPL, which is in advanced manufacturing in defense and aeronautics. So if you look at to handle 3 different type of companies, cultures, people. One is a 60 plus years old engineering with a lot of IP and design drawings and all. The other one is like a millennial born out of after 2000 year, then those kind of kids who are working on a PHP and all cutting edge technology in IoT. The third one is stringent cyber security where it comes to aeronautics and defense. All 3 are we are responsible for as a common IT shared service basically. So in this juncture we were evaluating various products to put it for our endpoint protection. As Prasanna was saying, that cost is a very important factor. Yes, we have to protect our crown jewels, but the crown jewels has to be kept in a vault, but the vault cannot be costlier than the crown jewel itself. Suppose I have to protect some 100 rupees worth of important thing, the vault is 10,000 rupees, no CFO will approve for that. So there must be a balance between both. I have to protect it at the reasonable price. So then after doing lot of analysis, we find and we went with Sophos XDR. Then we are in the rolled out on our endpoints. Now we are planning to roll it out for our servers also. Then they are coming with new solutions like MDR. Yes, we are interested on that. We have to explore more. Then we may be taking a call on that. That is a background, I would say. But it's like we have to be always in the we have to 10 steps. You have to think about it because the bad actors are always ahead. So we have to do the catch-up game. That's why we thought Sophos will be an ideal partner for us to help in this.
Wonderful, Mr. Vijay, and I think the landscape that you're operating is very, very interesting and complex. You are actually responsible for almost 3 different organizations having under the same umbrella company, but completely different nuances, right? And Prasanna, how do you handle something like this? You have been solutionizing this for Mr. Vijay here and for a company like Bharat Fritz, right? How do you manage? How do you help companies such as this, even internationally, right? Sophos is a global company, right? So I'm sure you have seen multiple such use cases over a span of your tenure, and you've held such companies. Over to you, Prasanna. How do you go about solutioning such use cases?
Yeah. See, actually what happens is cyber threats are common in nature, and we see that any organization can be affected by this. So, what we try to do is we try to see that what exactly they are into, okay, the business, and then we see that how many places they have the resources. Like for example, now the resources can be in one geography and then multi-cloud environments, and then we can see that users are actually working from home. So, we have solutions which can actually help customers build a security gateway which can actually protect, like for example, you are coming from home, working from home. We have solutions like ZTNA. Then let us say, suppose if you are having a lot of assets in cloud, we have solutions which can actually give you protection in the cloud, visibility, governance, and then security on the cloud. And then if you have like perimeter security, we have. So, what we try to do is like we try to build an ecosystem. So, what we call is cybersecurity, adaptive cybersecurity. So, what it does is it actually integrates with all your solutions which are actually in different control places, and then can be integrated to a single management console, and that actually a customer likes it because it's much more easier to manage and much more visibility it can give. On top of it, what we try to do is we try to provide services, cybersecurity as a service, because most of the time what we see is that customers can actually use these tools, but they need expertise. Like for example, we have our SOC team. That SOC can actually give a lot of benefit to the customer in reducing the cost in-house, plus the intelligence what we can bring in to the customer is absolutely amazing actually. So, a threat can be detected by our team less than a minute's time, and we can respond to a threat in less than 12 minutes. So, what happens is customer wherever they are, I will give you an example of a customer whom actually we have, it's a long time customer with us, and they have gone with the services on top of our solutions. One fine day you would have seen that log4j, there was a vulnerability and they have been attacked, and you will be surprised that the team which was working, they were actually on top of that particular threat, and they neutralized and they informed the customer, and by the time customer actually was holidaying somewhere, he says, thank God, okay, we have Sophos, now I can actually take extended vacation. So, this is what we can actually bring it to the table for customers, and this is real time we are doing that, and there is no gimmick in it. Okay, customers can see that what exactly is we are doing, and very transparent manner as well. So, that is what we bring it to the table.
Wonderful, Prasanna. I think what you really brought out is that you have addressed one of the key pain points that we keep hearing most customers speaking about, is that one, they lack that one single pane of glass which gives them the complete visibility, right? That is missing because they have approached their security architecture in a piecemeal basis, right? So, it's like layers of onion peels, one after the other, they just got added, but there's no integration between all of that. And the second thing, Prasanna, that you mentioned was that you are customizing it, you are configuring it for the business that they are in. I think that's one very critical in all the research and all the survey that we keep doing, and even in secondary research, we keep seeing these two pain points highlighted time and again, that these are one of the biggest challenges that is there for organizations to deal with before they land up having a very robust cybersecurity architecture. Thank you, gentlemen, for today's time, and thank you for sharing your thoughts on this platform of ours today. Right, I'm sure these will be really valuable and a great takeaway for our audience there.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot. Thank you.